Like the problem with the cops whooping people, like even George Floyd, is if them people would have tried to intervene, that cop would have probably shot them.
Yeah.
You think so?
Did it to them. Hell yeah,
bro. I was thinking, bro.
People would have tried to push dude off of George Floyd, that he would have been like, okay, all right, my bad. He would have got their ass to.
I keep replaying that in my head, and I don't know what would have happened to anyone that tried to intervene with that. I was thinking, if I was there, what would I keep trying to say, if I was there, what would I have done? If I was there, what would I have done? And I think you might be right. I think I would have probably been like, yo, just arrest me. If you got to, I would have went with my hands up, like, I'm laying right next to you. I'm gonna lay down right next to you. I'm not hurting you. I'm not here to hurt you. But get off of him and arrest me. I know that sounds cool and all, but you don't know what they would have did, bro. Like you might be right, because anytime anybody was saying something to them, like I've been keeping up with the trial, man, and every time I watch it, I'm like, yo, what would I've done? And watching all the witnesses that were actually on the scene, they're all got post-traumatic stress about what happened, bro. They all feel like it's their fault. And it's not their fault.
And I was just about to say this, what Michael said. The other cops would have stopped you, because also keep in mind, it was 2 other cops on his legs that we don't see in the video. And then the Asian cop was talking in front of the people. So say, if you tried to go around, if you were standing there where the Asian cop was and tried to go around, he would have stood in front of you, and if you would have got too close, he would have arrested you before you got close enough.
He was pulling his mace out. He was pulling his mace out. He was pulling his mace. He was like reaching for his mace, like, get back. Like,
and if you would have said, no, I'm going over there, they would have maced you, and they wouldn't have been like, okay, that's it. They would have maced you and then put cuffs on your ass and threw you down too. Now, also think of it this way. Say if you came around from the back way, from the street way, from the opposite angle where George Floyd was actually laying, and you tried to run over there. Them cops that was on his legs may have got up and got your ass. Or may have shot you. You know what I mean? It needs to be a group of people to have came in order for it to make a difference. But if it was one person or even 2 people, they would have got you too. Now, if 20 or 10 or 15 would have ran over there, they wouldn't have did nothing. They would have had to get up to protect themselves. They might have shot.
They would have opened fire on the crowd.
Right. That's why I just say, man, shot
fire on the crowd.
Yeah. But that's the only way they would have got up, is if it would have been a group of people. But 1 or 2 at a time, they would have took them down too.
There was a group of people, but they weren't. They were. I feel like this is why I feel like I know this is not your subject, but I feel like the reason that he stayed on his neck is because of the group of people was telling him to get off.
I think so too.
I feel like he was feeding. I feel like he was,
hey, y'all don't run shit.
Feeding into.
I'll run
like,
this.
I don't got to do what y'all tell me to do.
Yeah, I think that was it too. Yeah, I agree.
I think that's why
you can see it in his face when they saying that. Yeah, you can see it in his face. Yeah, and then also we know the backstory. He was jealous of him because the white girls loved him and wouldn't give him no play. You know that, right?
I didn't hear that one.
No, that ain't a joke. They both work security. They both work security at this club. And it's pictures of George Floyd. All the girls that worked there, I think it was like a strip club. And all the girls liked him. He was cool, this, that, and the other. They liked him. It's pictures of him with him. But the cop didn't like that. And he was a nerd, uptight, weirdo kind of dude. And none of the girls liked him. And he worked there as an off-duty, you know, because a lot of cops work security off-duty. And so he had some.
They worked at the same job. Yeah. They just brought that up on Thursday, that they both worked at the same club, and nothing would shock me, bro.
Yeah, that's the club. So he already had a personal reason to do that to dude too, which is why it is murder. Because not only did you know that you shouldn't have did it, you didn't like this dude for that reason too. So it ain't like, oh, he's just some random dude and you just so happen to do this. It's you also had a backstory where you probably was thinking, boy, I wish I could. I'd kick his ass, or I'd do this, or I'd do that. And then the opportunity came.
Something was wrong, bro. There was I feel like the crowd. I mean, he shouldn't have did it regardless, but I feel like the crowd riled him up, where he feels like I'm the authority. I'll do what the F I want, and you guys are telling me to get off, and I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
at all. I don't think the rest of the other 3 officers didn't have the balls to tell him to get off. One of the officers, the one that was down by his feet, was like, should we roll him over? Should we roll him over? He said it twice. And then after that, he don't say nothing else. But the dude, the Chinese guy, well, I'll say the Asian guy,
Tao
and Tao or Tofu, whatever his name is. I feel like he might beat it. And I feel like the guy that was down by George Floyd's feet might beat it because he was the one that recommended to
and he did get
get off of him. Like to not he got first of all, he got off of him, but not only did he get off of him, he also checked his pulse. He told the other officers, let's roll him on his side. Because I feel like he's gonna. He said, "What was the word? The term, the asphyxia, not asphyxia,
something like that."
No, asphyxiate is choke, is die. You know, is suffocate.
He said exit delirium.
Exit delirium, some shit like that, and which means that he doesn't want him.
He peed on himself.
Yeah, he did. But
because now that liquid start running down. That's when you know you was out, because now you done lost conscious your body fluids.
That's some old stale urine, and that's what the prosecution's basically like. That's what the prosecution's like. So, what part of he stopped resisting? He stopped resisting and pissed himself, and yet you stayed on his neck.
Right, he was unconscious, and you still kept doing it.
He stopped talking. He peed himself. He what do they call it? The ambulance came, and he still stayed on his neck. So, dude, there's no way he gets off or away with this. There's no way. Either he gets murder, or he gets manslaughter, or even if they say he OD'd, okay, but he OD'd in your custody. He was in handcuffs. That is your job. He died in your custody, no matter what. That's no doubt. He died in your custody no matter what. I don't care if he OD'd or we all know you killed him, but that's what he's trying to say, that he had a drug problem and OD'd. Right. But it doesn't even matter. It's either manslaughter, you let him die, or you killed him. So I don't see, there is no way, there is no version of this story where Derrick Chauvin walks out a free man. No way. That's how I feel.
So either. I don't think so either. I feel.
Like, it's too much, bro. They got too many witnesses, too much evidence, too much. We would think just the video was enough, but man, the state is going deep in that ass with everything, bro. They got the 911 dispatcher testified like, yo, I thought that the screen had frozen. He was on his neck that long. She was watching it like, yo. So we'll see.
Damn. Yeah, I ain't been keeping up with it, but yeah, and they can't say he died from drugs. Like, he was walking around fine until you put your neck on him, your knee on his neck. You know, and he had COVID and survived COVID. Yeah, he survived COVID and all this stuff. But till you did this, now, he was gonna die anyway. Come on.
That's what he's trying to say. That's what they're trying to say.
And I saw
he would have never died if you didn't put your knee on his neck. Period.
Right. And another thing, they tried to, when they interview other black men, try to make it seem like they angry black men. That's why they saying what they say. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with what you did, you know. Right. So anyway.
Did you see that, bro? They tried to make it look like the guy that was basically pleading for George Floyd's life was some angry Negro with anger problems that was threatening the cop and all this other nonsense. And that was the furthest thing from the case, bro. He was begging for this man's life, and you, the cop, decided not to, just because he was telling him like you need to get off of him. He decided not to get off of him, and that's exactly what he did. He refused to get off of him because multiple people were asking him to get off of him. It's sick, man. There's no reason for George Floyd not to be alive today, man.
And Tao should have said something, and all them other cops should have said something, man. They was like scared to speak up to dude. Like, dude was like a bully cop, really.
Yeah.
Because all the other cops, like, even when they did say something, he ignored them, and they just left it alone. Then, like, oh well. Like, man, get him, man. Get his ass up off of them. Like, they should have pushed him up off of him when he was gonna beat them too.
I know. Like they should have told him to get off of him. The one cop suggested it twice, and he just said, "No, we're gonna." What did he say, Kim? We're gonna stay here and wait for the ambulance, right?
He said that's why I upgraded it to code 3 instead of code 2. Yeah,
like he had it under control, but they was like it was just. I don't know. It's disturbing, bro. It's disturbing. And if this cocksucker gets away with this, bro, I lose faith in this country. Period.
Yeah, I mean, it is stuff like this fractures the country more than some people realize. Because you got one group of people that you know will say this and that about the country, but then when people like Kaepernick say they don't want to kneel or this or that, then they want to run and say all this stuff. They don't get why people feel that way, obviously. Like, how could you expect people to feel the same as you when people ain't got the same rights and treated the same? You know? Yeah. And that's unfortunate. When you can be killed.
When you can just be killed and there's no justice for you, and the guy walks and goes home and beats with his mom and his family. Like your life didn't matter at all. And he can just kill you without any reason for it. You were not threatening to him. You didn't pose his life any threat, but he can take your life without and just go live his life like you never even existed.
And it's over $20, $20, counterfeit 20. Like, that ain't enough to do nothing. That $20 in counterfeit is not going to stay exactly. That's not going to stop or hurt any business, anybody, anything, and you don't get the death penalty for using a $20 counterfeit bill.